one last element to add in here, unless somebody didn't change the batteries in that clock, or maybe it's an old school like spring wound clock. The clock should be moving and it's not. So we'll go back up here to project. And if you remember, there was a little movie called Clock. So what we'll do is we'll just deselect everything in the project panel, double click in the project panel, and there it is in assets. There's a clock movie. And it's footage, so we don't have to do anything special to it. And we'll bring that in, that clock movie in, and there it is right there. Now it's a pre-made movie, and you can see if you look at the thumbnail up here, it looks like nothing. It looks like a little dot. Again, this is key black, and there's the little clock, which is basically the inside of that. So if we just take that now and put that on top layer, yeah. So there's our little clock movie. Okay, so that was just basically pre-made, and if you solo it, you can see, that's all that is key black. So this is an alpha channel with a hole cut in it, and that's giving us the illusion of the clock. Okay, so say right now this is done, we're finished, there's nothing else we want to do. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go file save as, and I'm going to save it right now as version 9 in my finished project folder. And then again, because if this is truly finished, I'm going to go save as again. And here is where I'm now going to call this not L9 version 9, L6 version 9, but I'm going to call this L6 final. And of course, I want it to go into a different folder. So I'll navigate to my desktop and I'll find my lesson 6 folder. And of course, this is now where I want it to go. I want it to go into the finished project folder. Because again, when I hide this and I look in my folder, there it is right there. Because see, that's the one I'm going to open when I'm marking your projects. So, you can see this is how this workflow should work. Last step now is to actually render this out, because this is, again, it's just an AEP file. So to do this, I'm going to go over the rendering again so that everybody is 100% sure on this. I have to select the master composition first. Now the master composition is Sunrise because that contains everything. Window contents is a nested composition or a pre-comp. So you got to make sure I got the right composition setting. Now I can go up here and go composition, and under composition I'm going to go add to render queue. Now there's a whole bunch of settings in here that really are mind-boggling. All we're really going to do is we want to make sure it's in a video friendly codec, because for the most part that's what we do. We have to export it out so that we can use it in our NLE software, whatever NLE software we're using. We'll leave best settings alone, but we're going to click on lossless. And you can see up here right now, the problem is this, it says animation, which is really, it's not a video friendly codec. The frame rate's way too high. So when you go to play back, it's going to play back jerky. So I'm going to click format option, video codec. I'm going to pick a video friendly codec. Now these are, for the most part, all video friendly codecs. I'm just going to use, because it's not a high def. If it was, I'd be using like a Apple ProRes 444. If I'm shooting, doing something in 1080. Because it's not 1080, it's actually substantially less. I'm just going to go with an Apple ProRes 422, and basically that's going to set that up so that's a video friendly codec. And I'm going to say okay. There's no audio in here, so I don't need to worry about that. The only other thing I do here is, you see it says output 2. It's not yet specified. What that means is I have to tell where I want this movie to go. Now I can change the name of the movie if I want. I'm not going to change the name of the movie. All I'm really going to do is I'm going to make it go to the folder I want it to go. So there's my master folder, and I want it to go into sample movies. Okay, so now I'm going to hit save. So now you can see I've got it going to where I want it to go. I've changed my settings. I only need to hit render and wait for the sound of the magic wand. Magic wand indicates I've successfully rendered that. So now if I minimize this and I look in my movie folder, there it is, Sunrise Movie, today at this time. And that's basically the file that I could take into my NLE, my nonlinear editing software. Okay, so again, that's the process, the workflow. Pay attention to this workflow. It's just so critical to you doing this stuff successfully.